looking at this team since the Manila Major qualifiers, I was expecting a lot out of that one for them, but you think about after Shanghai, there was the big reshuffle, and it felt to me like Invictus Gaming was kind of grooming this squad for a while. It was their IG Vitality team. They had been having it for a really long time, and then all of a sudden, you know, March 20th, whenever it was that happened, they roll them all out together, bring them up to play with 430, and as you were saying, it felt like they were trying to make sure that that core dynamic played well, and then fit 430 into that draft.
Sure.
So I love the changes too, because they oftentimes are still going to leave his hero for last, but I feel like this is a great start, and I like the Lifestealer Disruptor combo. These are some of the most picked heroes across all regions.
Yeah, it's the way they draft. Still, they draft around 430. He generally plays. You know how yesterday I was saying Mikasa plays the traditional mid, your Puck, your TA, your Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
The ones that plays like the Temple space controllers. 430 now plays kind of the hard carry on the mid lane. Your Invokers, your Nagas, your Alchemists. And the rest of the 4 IG picks are picked around to kind of protect him, farm around him, fight around him. And that's why you save 430's picks to the end. And going to look at this draft, Riki, Disruptor, these are the heroes that you want to have a 4 Protect 1 strat, because they give you that utility, they give you the gank, they give you the team fight. So it's a very standard IG draft. But whether they are adapting or dealing with this Drow Ranger is another story, because, I mean, Drow Ranger has a ton of weaknesses, which I don't feel like IG so far has really capitalized on it.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting dynamic there. I'm curious how they're going to go for it. I really like the idea of the Invoker pick that you were talking about. Maybe even thinking about flirting with the idea of a Quas Wex to extend the game and try and cut out the push. They do have an 85% win rate on that hero when they're able to get it over the past month. But you look at these supports that are coming out, traditionally think a little bit defensive, but in the context of a Drow Ranger lineup, these guys are going to be able to do a ton of damage.
So I agree with the Invoker pick, because you said 86% win rate. I disagree with the Quas Wex.
Okay.
Again, going back to 430, he carries on the mid lane. Okay. So you want something that gives you the oomph to go into the late game. So the reason they do so well with it is because when he goes Exhort, he's able to push. He's going to have the net worth to back it up. He's going to be able to take Roshan and kills. More of a snowball Invoker build, as you will. So if they do Invoker, I want to say 99%, it's most likely to be Exhort. I'm not even sure if Invoker is the best pick here. Whatever the pick is for 430, he's going to be under the gun. The mid pick has not been revealed yet for Vici Gaming. You still could have something like a Templar Assassin, for example. Remember, I believe Vici R ran Templar plus this Terrorblade together, and they have nothing but damage. Looks like we're going to see a Queen of Pain here. So 430, taking it back to old school as well. And we'll see if Queen of Pain is going to have what it takes to kind of deal with the mid lane onslaught that's going to be coming his way. Because one of the strengths for Bane, you see him roaming to the mid lane in the beginning, trade hits with you, and brain zap you. And 430 is not going to have a great time, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a little bit frustrating indeed. They do ban out the Axe. Again, a really strong hero that Invictus Gaming have played more than a few times. 85% win rate on that one, interestingly enough. But, oh my god, they're just going to drop it down. The XXS Brood. I believe that this is going to be him. Is there any chance, have you seen them run Brood before outside of that?
I haven't, but I like where this is going. It's a 5th pick Brood where Vici is, you know, like these supports, they're terrible against Brood.
Yeah, this is rough.
I guess Dazzle's okay if you get some creeps. You could kind of heal bomb the Spiderlings, but a good Brood player kind of harass you behind the trees and whatnot. So, like, the ship is burning right now for Vici Gaming, and they need to salvage it somehow. Now they're gonna run the Drow strat they had in mind, which is the delaying dominance right from the get-go, and Viper is probably one of the better heroes taking advantage of that Drow plus damage.
This is a very, very interesting draft. It feels like Vici Gaming are just gonna try and shove it down Invictus Gaming's throat. A very rough one, and I'm looking back right now through all of the games that have been played. In the past month, they haven't played a Brood. I'm going to look in the past 3 months, but I don't know if I've actually seen them ever run a Brood before. They've ran it one time, and they won the game. In the past, it was about a month and a half ago, and that's it. So,
okay, so
pocket strat.
It is a pocket strat, which talks about a couple things, right? Brood, to me, is one of those heroes that looks simple on paper, and you watch other pro players do it, you're like, okay, yeah, I could do that. I could just make spiders and dive with it, until you actually try it. And I've tried it a lot of times, and I failed like miserably. It's one of those heroes that have a lot of small niche plays, your spider placements, your sentry ward placements, where your spider is, whether you jungle with the spiderlings, whether you dive with the spiderlings. There's a lot of small plays with it. And the fact that you said he only played it once in the past...
In competitive games.
Sure,
right?
yeah, but still, like, that's a game where it matters most. It doesn't bode well for that. However, Brood is such a powerful hero, especially against this VG draft, that you might not be the best Brood player. I don't think you need to be the best Brood player. Brood is such a beautiful pick against the Vici draft.
Yeah, I mean, what's the question going to be? Do I kill Dazzle now, or do I kill him in a little bit? Do I jump onto the Bane now, or do I wait a couple more seconds until he's not going to be able to brain sap me again? I mean, this is, to me at least, feeling like it might be... I mean, one way or the other, it's probably going to be a pretty quick draft, or a pretty quick game, I should say. And the last pick, Viper... It only really solves the problem insofar as that if the spiders try and kill him off, corrosive skin is going to do damage to the little spiders. But you can just avoid the Viper, right? Like, just go hit towers.
I think the Viper pick is meant to do two things. First, it's for the ability to give Queen of Pain some of a tougher time on the mid lane, especially with the poison attack and, of course, with the plus damage from Drow. The second thing that's supposed to do is to give you a very strong group up hero, because the core of a Drow strat is the ability to group up and shut down tier 2s and threaten a high ground push very early in the game. And Viper is probably one of the better heroes in doing so. He can pick up the mech if he wants and give you that good 15-minute push. I think that's the high tempo game that Vici wants to play. So even though it's not the best counter to Brood, I think it's a very good hero.
Oh my god.
Dealing with own strat.
We're going to level 1 Roach!
Okay, I gotta say,
right.
this is completely unexpected.
Oh my god,
and the level 1 Roche is terrible though in terms of the rewards it gives you.
Why did he go time lock? I mean, couldn't you tank up the damage with time walk more? Oh my god.
Looking for the bash, I guess.
All right, this is actually going to work. And
have you seen the level 1 Roche in the new patch?
I haven't. They're not going to get level 2 off of it, but they are going to be able to come in with a significant advantage. Vici Gaming are going to come in early.
Here's the thing: is it a significant advantage? Like you don't even get too much experience. You get some gold, but you never really level 1 Roche for the gold, right?
Oh god, I can't believe that they're doing this though.
Are they actually? Okay, they're going to be able to do it. They're going to be able to do it.
And this has been the thing, is that a lot of times these teams have been switching off between each other, and instead of going for, oh my god, there it is.
All right, Aegis Ghost on Viper. How much gold did they get? 200 each.
Yeah, that's pretty significant.
It is significant, but they did burn like 3 salves and a clarity just to do it, right? So like, it's an advantage, but I'm not exactly sure how big the advantage is. I guess they do hit like level 1 or like 0.7 of a level to level 2. That's okay as well.
0.75.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Well, and the other thing, though, is that it's this draft that wants to snowball really hard regardless of that.
Correct, yeah.
So being able to come in with that advantage, it's just going to help them all the more.
I'm so excited for this game right now.
Oh, my God.
Because on one end, you have the Brood that shuts down these supports, but can she actually shut it down now that they essentially have 4 sentry wards for free? Like, that also becomes a new factor in this game.
Well, and look, like right now, you've got Aquila on the Viper as well as Fairy Fire, a full set of Tangos going up against this Queen of Pain. Oddly enough, the Queen of Pain is still doing okay in this leveling. I'm glad I was able to reconnect fairly quickly, but yeah, you mentioned it. Those early sentry wards going to be online, but not brought out as of yet.
Mm-hmm. That courier's double timing.
Oh my god, is CTY going to die? He's taking a lot of damage. He needs to be really careful in this lane from now on. Like,
he's got Aegis, dude.
Oh, that's a good point. All right, never mind. He can play as aggressive as he wants to.
Like, thanks for healing.
Do your thing, CTY.
Yeah. And I don't imagine the Aegis will be taken from a gank, because you don't want to gank a Viper anyway. So if he needs to pop that Aegis for regen, I think he's okay with that.
Yeah. Oh, man. What a game already, right off the bat. Vici Gaming. I mean, how much more bold of a move can you have? You come into this game.
You're facing elimination. You might as well, actually.
It's a really good decision, and a big shot call coming in from Mr. ROTK as well. You always love to be able to see that.
I love ROTK. Just when he feeds, it's so glorious. When he goes ham, it's also glorious. And yeah, like you said, this is a ballsy shot call to say the least.
Well, now in the mid lane so far, the Drow Ranger 11-1, 8-5 on the Viper, and I mean the offlane hasn't gone amazingly well, but it's going to be okay. And at least for now, ROTK gets a lucky little bash there onto Wrong, and then continue a little bit of pressure.
I'm reconnecting. But
Okay.
I see you having a little bit of lag spikes as well.
Yeah, this is frustrating. We might have to try another reconnect, but honestly, at a certain point, there's not a ton that you can do.
Well, reconnect, yeah, it's not working out too well for me as well. But let's actually talk about the individual lanes here. How's our Broodmother doing on the top? She's got 7 CS. She's got level 3 and so, but I think level 4 and level 5 is really where the hero takes off. Do you think she's at a good spot set to dominate the supports?
Well, it's a tough question because you do have it depends a lot upon positioning, and that's the problem that we were talking about. Is if you don't have a lot of practice on this hero, positioning is just so relevant. I feel like if they get out of position, all of those spiders die to a really big heal bomb, and you're seeing that Dazzle is maxing it early. So, for me at least, there is the potential there, but there's also the potential for it to go disastrously wrong.
Yeah.
And I feel like Vici Gaming have about everything that they could hope for as far as being able to deal with this. They've got some dust up on their supports. They're going to be able to have boots on the Dazzle too relatively soon. And you can see right there a little bit of a heal bomb coming through with only one other hero. All of those spiders are down to almost half HP.
Yeah, the fact that these two supports, or the healing support types, are able to at least survive long enough for the other support to come in and back each other up, that's a big deal. And the level 1 Roche comes back here as well, because both of these supports have boots. You know, you're supposed to come down and kind of just run down these supports. Having boots also makes them survive that much longer. So this level 1 Roche against this Radiant Giraffe is working spectacularly.
Yeah, I mean, holding still on that 1,500 gold lead and 1,000 experience as well. And the thing to be a little bit concerned about now is that you're going to be pushing in. They did a single pull on the camp at around that 3-minute mark, which means that they're going to have a catapult as well as a pretty large creep wave. A good job by the Broodmother to pull it past, but they're still going to be able to do a lot of damage to this tower and might even be able to bring it down here pre-5 minutes if you're not careful on the side of Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, not only did they actually do the 3-minute pull like you pointed out, they also popped the Precision Aura.
Okay.
So the creeps also hit harder, at least the ranged ones. So looks like the truck is going to get taken down by the army of spiderlings. Oh, the heal bomb though. Mowing them spiders down. They are determined to take down this tier 1 tower.
Now, and you can see also in the off lane, ROTK continuing to try and apply a little bit of pressure there. They are still continuing this push. And the Broodmother doing the best that she can. It's within deny range, so your prediction might be wrong in a second here.
Well, no, I put yes. There will be a tower denied.
Oh, Ferrari dropping low, but not dead as of yet.
I think this is like the 2nd or 3rd time Ferrari had to go base. The Viper mid is really shutting him down.
31 and 16 versus... I mean, he almost has as many denies as the Queen of Pain does CS.
Yeah.
This is a very, very poor Queen of Pain. And it looks like now they might actually be able to finish off
top
this
lane.
tower.
Looks like we are going to see a port in. It's going to be a smoke cloud on Sylar. It's going to be a counter kill. First kill going to the Broodmother. The Glimpse is going to actually get one back. It's going to be on Burning this time. Burning will pop the Grave for himself, but you're not running away from the Spider Army without a TP. He buys one, but a little bit too late. He signs his own death here and buys a smoke before doing so. So, hey, man, IG with the back of 1 TP and the Ricky smoke cloud, they're able to pick up 2 kills.
I'm going to try and reconnect one more time real quickly just to see if I can find any way to keep the lag from bringing us down. But give me a little bit of context here. We're taking a look at this level 1 Roshan, a lot of gold buildup going back the direction of Vici Gaming. How key are those kills?
So the level 1 Roshan made the top lane and the mid lane for Vici Gaming very strong. They essentially are winning these lanes, especially with the Drought Aura, through CS, through Harass. However, with that ganks coming in, I think the top lane is now salvaged for the Broodmother. So the only real lane that Vici Gaming has traction in is the mid lane, which is still big. But I think Vici, with that level 1 Roshan advantage, wanted to win at least 2 out of 3.
Oh, the jump in again, just messing around with CTY here, the Ricky. But this is a very large and in charge Viper who is building his way towards a mechanism. And I think that we all know what ends up happening when he gets that up. It's time to push. It's time to take towers. It's time to be aggressive. And it feels like Vici Gaming are very well aware of that fact. ROTK also has almost got his level 6. Do you feel like it's around that mechanism and Chronosphere time that they try and push, or can they make stuff happen before that comes online?
I think if they get a kill, it's an invitation to the push, but I think the key timing is, like you said, the mech. So they'll farm it out a little bit. Maybe they will wait out the Vlads for the Faceless Void, but it seems like ROTK is a little bit too underfarmed for that. I just want to speak a little bit about the way that Vici Gaming wants to handle this game, the strategy. A lot of teams in the past wants to shut down 430 by sending multiple gank parties to the mid lane. But Vici Gaming in this game have not only shut down 430, they have only done so with a single hero, with the Viper mid. And that's just impressive, leaving the other heroes to deal with the other lanes. And if you look at the mid lane comparison, CTY is level 8, and the Queen of Pain is level 5, almost hitting level 6.
Yeah.
The mid lane disparity is just absolutely ginormous.
Well, in this again, it speaks back to the fact that you do have that level 1 Roshan and the precision aura. Like there was no way that and the H's. There was no way that Ferrari was going to be able to come out of that lane. Okay, so just again a really good call from Vici as far as what they needed to do, and you're taking a look at this now. I mean, they take down the tier 1 tower in the top lane. Broodmother pretty heavily hemmed in. And Drow Ranger drafts are no longer a draft that has to hit the timing and it falls off hard. I feel like they're still capable of being able to scale later into the later stages of this game with the addition of Dragonlance and all those other ones.
Well, look at what's happening here. Level 6 Lifestealer immediately infests into the Riki. This is like one of the earlier rotations that you could do in the game, and I don't think Drow Ranger expected here. We're going to see a pop out against Sylar, and Sylar, this is going to be his second death. Another one that the Brood participates in. Riki gets a kill here, but yeah, IG now saying, you know what, we know the push is coming. We're going to send the push straight to you. And the tier 1 tower is going to fall up top lane.
Yeah, good stuff coming through. You love to be able to see it. 3-0 start for Invictus Gaming, despite the fact that the level 1 Roche went their way. So a little bit odd, but still good stuff. The Mechanism is about to be up and online after this tower take as well. They're moving back for the moment. Unfortunately, Ferrari was not really ever going to be able to stop this push on his own, but they're counter-pushing at the same time, so all is not lost.
The Riki Smoke Skull is going to come in to delay the push at least a little bit, I guess. Got to be careful. He walks into the sentry range.
Nightmare, brain zapped. They could go for this if they want to, but there's the blink away.
I'm literally seeing no animation here, so I don't know what exactly happened.
Oh, don't worry. I'm a pro at casting with the terrible lag. You just sort of say what you hope happens, and then eventually maybe it will. The tower goes down. The Chronosphere dropped down as well onto Wrong, and HYM now is going to be able to get silence for the moment. And they drop the Static Storm. Sonic Wave goes through as well, but not nearly enough damage, and Ferrari 430 is going to end up taking a whole hell of a lot of his own. CTY jumped on by 3 heroes. QD, but graved at the last second, and now ROTK in the midst of all of this is trying to bring down XXS. They are going to be able to find that kill. The mech comes out, and it looks like with that, 4 might fall if they can catch up to QD. He has his armlet, so he's going to be able to walk away. But my goodness. I'm
not sure whether you caught it on camera, but Riki was waiting for the grave to end, and he was like, juicy kill. Blink strike on the Viper. But as soon as he blinked on it, I think just at the same time, the courier delivered the mech. CTY popped the mech and says, oh, thanks for the freebie, and turned around and killed the Riki. And this is going to be the second Roshan 10 minutes into the game here with a double damage to boot. I think that mid fight was so important for Vici because to me they were about to kind of get snowballed on.
I love this play by Burning as well. He drops down.
Solo smoke?
He solo smoked to see if he was going to be able to, if anybody was going to come in and try and steal the Aegis.
Right.
So pretty nice play, and then Aegis again now on Sylar. It's time to head down bottom. Best of ones, man. This is the problem. You end up potentially getting, dropped down. IG have looked so good, and I don't know. I'm a little bit scared about their birth to TI if they end up losing this game.
Yeah, I think if IG wins this one, they're pretty poised to take the first seed and the direct the invite to TI.
It would be Wings that would be the big other one.
Correct. Now, the game is not over just yet. Even though it's Vici Gaming that's essentially dominating for the past 5 minutes, you got to keep in mind they're supposed to dominate in the past 5 minutes or so. So it's within the realms of Vici to maybe lose a team fight and have IG to come back. So I think the game right now, even though it's Vici favored, is still very winnable for IG if you're an IG fan.
Yeah, the problem is right here. You see they've got such good control over this Riki, who would normally be the one who'd be able to scout it out and find the pickoffs on the Drow Ranger. But these supports are so rich, they're just constantly able to buy the detection that they need. They place down so many sentry wards around the map, and they're just going to keep on rolling down lanes. I would completely agree with you, though. If they're capable of drawing out this game longer, then I think that you do have a chance for IG. It's a very hard thing.
Yeah, the Broodmother pick in the kind of macro level of this game is becoming more and more of a double-edged sword. On one hand, he's able to split push and get some gold and economy towards the IG side as they're being pushed on. The downside is XSS, we're really never able to be helping to deal with the main push, right? Like, you see this big push, Rax push coming the way. Broodmother is not going to fight too well if he TP's back here.
Yeah, and I mean, Dazzle's just there as well to keep him back for the moment. And Sylar, HYM, ROTK, CTY, all up in front there. They are going to be able to do a decent chunk of damage, but Burning is still here, and he does a non-significant amount. I don't know. Oh, Bobica scouting things. Again, they drop down a ward, going to be able to keep eyes on these heroes, and
that's a force back.
This is a little bit scary. They do not want to end up getting caught out. Oh, God. All right. See you later, Ricky.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a Quap illusion.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, still, though, despite losing the Ricky, I mean, if you look at the damage on the Tier 3 towers, I believe the Broodmother have done more damage by herself to the Tier 3. So I think this pushing strategy maybe has 5 more minutes of kind of lime time. Is that a word?
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the word I'm looking for. But it's about to end, and once the prime time ends, it's not looking good.
You know what you did? You did limelight and prime time.
Yeah, that's why I was confused myself.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like they're going to be trying to wrap around again. Queen of Pain coming in from the backside down here towards the bottom. ROTK is going to end up getting silenced, but don't catch him in the static storm. It looks like they are going to end up being able to drop a Chronosphere if they want to turn this back around. Sonic Wave.
Okay.
Bobica controls for the moment. They are going to be able to kill off too. So all of a sudden, IG are going to end up losing their Ricky and their Disruptor. A lot of that control.
Burning is being chased away, but he gets dusted under the tower. He's going to try to run away. Is he going to survive?
Oh my God, the heal bomb ends up being able to take down the Brood. Burning. I'm the carry now.
Yeah, and mid-Rax is going to fall here, so all things looking very good for Vici all of a sudden. Like you said, I think somewhere earlier, it's like this game is not going to go along one way or another.
Oh my goodness. 4 to 8, but more importantly, 14-minute lane of Rax for Vici Gaming, and it doesn't feel like they're going to stop anytime soon. I mean, how do you stop this type of aggression? You've got essentially you've got a Ricky and a Disruptor for pushing creep waves.
Yeah, they don't actually push creep waves.
And this was a first-round draft pick for the Drow. How? I don't know. I feel like this was not the response.
You mean the one for Vici Gaming?
For Invictus Gaming.
Yeah. You're saying they didn't respond too well in the draft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know.
Well, I thought the Brew response was perfect. But I think they also expected the game to go not as high tempo as this. Because this is like 0 to 60, right? Instantly. Starting from minute 0.
Oh, and they're not set up here in time. I feel like Sylar is just going to be able to walk in and take this one down. I mean, he has Aegis, Maelstrom now up and online. This is going to allow him to transition if he wants to later into that Axe build that we've seen come a little bit more into prominence. Sylar already taking that damage, going to trade the creep aggro over in just a second, and meanwhile, the tower is going to end up falling, just hitting it away from the low ground, and CTY, a very healthy person indeed.
Bobica trying to come in here. The Aegis runs out.
Oh, they might be able to make something happen, but again, how do you initiate onto this lineup? You do have Wrong who's here and able to throw down a static storm, but they don't care about being silenced. They did take a Tier 3 tower up in the top lane, so a couple of things going their way. Glimpse, CTY, he's stuck here. They are thinking about going back, though. Faceless Void is going to try and TP into this. CTY is actually just going to man up. He is a monster. They do manage to find one kill. So at least he got something for it, but my goodness.
All right, so I'm trying to picture a world where IG loses all 3 lanes of Rax because it's going that direction. How long can they hold their base if they lose against, or they're dealing against Mega Creeps? They don't have the Corsair for that, right? Like, Brood is terrible for that because the Spiderlings would just die. Queen of Pain is not really built for that at this stage of the game. And then you got QD on Lifestealer, who's also not too terribly great at clearing big creeps.
I feel like the Broodmother now going back for the Midas too. Like, it's something where you just don't have the itemization that you need to deal with this. Like, they're itemizing to try and scale better into the late game, but they're not going to get to that position.
Yeah, she's got the Midas for a while, but that doesn't make your point any less significant. Like,
right.
You know this game is going to go for this direction.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fast one. So
Well,
why Midas?
I like the Queen of Pain build going into the Aghanim Scepter. I feel like this is what they need, and if you're capable of getting this up and online, it might end up working, but I'm worried that the net worth graph is just going to be too pronounced.
IG's going to try to fight into this. There's no Aegis, but I think this is going to be a hard fight to take. Viper is way too tanky. They got the Chrono. I just don't think this is the right way to kind of combat this situation. I think it's better off if they just actually just split with the Brood and creep skip with the Brood and try to delay.
I think it's too late for that even. I like the play here. Just because I understand what you mean. The one thing that I'd be worried about is if they get up onto their high ground, they're going to lose the barracks so quickly.
So you try to fight them before they get to the high ground. I get that.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't think they can win that fight. Like
exactly.
It's like a 2%er.
So great.
What the Brood doing right now is, I think, it's the play. Like
Yeah.
you just cut the wave, right? And you basically say, you know what, we're going to lose the tier 2, but we're going to blow up your crew wave before we get to the tier 3, and our Brood's going to...
No. He had to go back for the Veil, so couldn't even finish off the Aghanim Scepter for
I think the Veil's fine. Like, the Veil gives them that big spike of damage, maybe win the fight.
Yeah, this is all or nothing.
Yeah, do or die. Glyph is available, and they'll use it immediately. Broodmother says, man, why are they still pushing? There's no creep wave.
Oh, the jump in. QD controlled for the moment. Lifestealer as well as Bobica in a lot of trouble, and the feed script is there as well. The silence down, the Sonic Wave, but it doesn't even matter. Burning's going to be able to survive through it. They heal back up. The rest of the team buyback onto already, but can they stop the push coming in from Vici Gaming? CTY just continuing to hit away at these towers, and they've got the Brood trying to take down this Drow Ranger, and a little bit of damage, but the silence comes through again. Grave, and they are going to be able to keep Sylar alive. Invictus Gaming might have just gotten level 1 Roche and a Drow.
I could just taste the left fromage, the cheddar. So sweet here from Vici Gaming. I don't think we've seen a lot of cheese strat in 2016 in Dota 2, but this is definitely one of the cheesiest strat that has worked so beautifully.
Well, a 19-minute GG, and Vici Gaming pulling out an upset. They needed to bring the big guns. They're shooting them all over the place. It's good to see it. And for Invictus Gaming fans, a little bit scary now. They are going to be in contention with Wings. Essentially, their fate is out of their hands at this point. You have to hope for a Wings loss, and you aren't going to be able to provide that, even though they beat them earlier in these qualifiers. So, a little bit of a short game. We're heating up a little bit, but you still got the blanket on you.
Lyrical, I got to ask you, like, more of a personal reaction to this game. Are you, like, salty? Like, I'm not sure how big of an IG fan you are, but if you're an IG fan, are you salty?
If I was an IG fan, I would be salty. I am I don't know. I have a lot of different fandoms.
Sure.
I think that I just like the Chinese Dota scene in general. It's a lot of fun.
What about if you're like if you just enjoy watching Dota? Like, how do you rate the enjoyment of this game?
was great.
This is like 10 out of 10.
This was 10 out of 10.
It would do for me. Like, it's good, right? Level Roshan 2016.
Yeah.
That's all we gotta say.
New meta. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed the broadcast. We certainly did.